So we're ready to start. We are going to be painting or drawing first a realistic paintbrush. And I thought paintbrush would probably be the best thing to draw first because obviously we're in art class, and I found these giant paintbrushes and I thought these would just be really fun to look at and draw. Now, if you have a paintbrush at home that you want to just watch and look as you draw, that usually kind of helps me out. I like having something in front of me that I can see and draw at the same time. If not, you can just follow along with me. It's not super hard, and this is actually pretty big and I love it. So when we're starting to draw this, we're going to be first starting off with basic shapes. Anything or anytime you want to draw something, you can usually always start with basic shapes. Even like the human body, for people who draw a lot of characters or do anime, you always usually start off with circles and ovals for bodies. And I know that sounds really weird, but that transforms into what you're gonna later on be finishing up. So for this, my paintbrush, the two shapes I'm gonna start off with when I'm doing this is I'm gonna do a sort of rectangular square shape first, and then I'm gonna do kind of like just a basic cylinder oval shape for the bottom handle. So I'm gonna put this aside. So after I have my basic shapes, I have my cylinder, my oval shape down here that's kind of just floating and holding on by a string. So what I want to do, since this is the bottom, this bottom part is going to be the bottom, like right underneath the silver part, because this is still all square. But you see it's not going to be a perfect square because right at the edges it's going to form a very nice curve that'll connect to this oval handle part of it. Now mine doesn't look as oval as some other paintbrushes do, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make that a little flatter. I'm gonna start on one side, and just like my paintbrush shows, I'll keep it right here to see it. You're gonna very slightly, using my feather lines, start to form a curve. And see, I stop right there. If I want to, I can probably go ahead and try to make that a little bit more curvy. Ooh, and that's starting to look nice right there already. And you can already guess that all of this in the middle part, you're gonna end up erasing anyways. It's just to help you form a guide on where everything is. Because in art, you use a lot of guides, especially if you guys plan on going to art school or taking more professional classes in high school. You learn a lot about gridding and how to form the lines down the middle and going across so you can get everything exactly where it is. After I did this one, I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side, really taking your time since your paintbrush is pretty symmetrical, meaning it is the same on both sides. So I'm really taking my time with my feather lines and going lightly, kind of doing it a couple times till I get exactly where I feel like I like them. And see here, I think mine's a little bit more curvy right here. Okay, I think I got it about exactly where I want it to be. Both sides look pretty even. This one, I'm actually gonna leave all these random sketchy lines where I messed up because that's where I'm actually going to add shadow, but that's like the last step, so don't worry about that. Okay, we got 5 minutes till the end of class. I'll do about 2 more minutes because I really want to share, even if it's not even finished and this is just the first step, I like seeing your guys' progress as we go along. And I'm going to erase these lines just so no one's confused about the shadow just yet. Shadows will worry later down the line. So now that our handlebar is done, now if I'm going too fast too, keep in mind all of this is recorded, so if you need to go back and rewatch it and pause, you can, if you want to just have this for practice. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that middle line that's down by my handlebar. But I'll still keep this line up here. And I'm going to erase some of these ugly lines that I don't really like to keep. And I'm pretty satisfied with how my handle is. But it is missing one thing. One pretty big major thing at the bottom. It's a little holder circle. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add it in. This is what we use to hang it up on the walls. At least I do these at home. I have them hanging up in the garage so they don't touch anything when they're wet from paint. Now, if you're not familiar with using sketchy lines or feathery lines, it's okay. I actually never started using it until way later on in college, but it does help a lot get your picture exactly where it is that you want to get it to. Okay, how much more time do we have? Ooh, we don't have enough time. Okay, I am going to stop right here. This is actually a perfect spot to stop at because we got our brush all down. So this is the shape of our brush. Next couple steps is going to be adding the details of it with our Sharpie, and then the shadow will be last. And don't forget also to write your name at the bottom. So make sure you have this perfect shape done by the time we meet next class on Thursday, and because then we'll start adding details and going in with Sharpie and outlining it.